So what is the most famous bucket list item every rich person needs to do? I think actually there's two. It is either going to space or climb Everest. So I'm not rich and I don't want to go to space. I guess I then have to adjust a bit. So I'm in Slovenia and I will try to climb this beautiful mountain, peak at over 2 kilometers in altitude with a guide. I have never done anything like this. The guide is from Kofler Sport. I have a link to their website in the description. Alright, let's do it. We started the climb around 6 o'clock at the morning. The weather was perfect. It was not hot at all. The only bad thing was that after the 30 minutes of walking, basically, I was already out of breath. One part of that is that I had a quite bad sleep. I think I only slept around 3 hours. I was a bit nervous and there was also a hassle with the fridge in my apartment. Anyway, I'm also a bit out of shape, so that doesn't help either. However, I was full of good energy and it was super fun. As you can see, I was attached to the guide with a rope for the full ascent. The guide told me when I needed to clip in with my Via Ferrata set. As you can see, now I only have the rope, but I also sometimes use my own set to be attached to the cables. Basically just doing what the guide said to me. I didn't have any fear of heights at all. I felt secure. And as you can see here, I'm looking at the scenery. It was super nice. Here, this part, I believe there were some other climbers as well, but the point was that I was supposed to climb over that small crevice, so it's more easier. Here you can see me clip in with the Via Ferrata set. Normally you would use the 2 clips, but as I'm attached with the rope, one was only needed. This was quite vertical. It's difficult to say about the vertical and what is steep and what is not, because the GoPro, it distorts the view quite a lot. So this was not the Via Ferrata route, I believe, because in Via Ferrata you have to have end-to-end like a secured route. This had parts that didn't have any cables at all. Right, taking a bit of water here, or like energy drink, and then continuing. Enjoying the view a bit. And here we go again. Quite a steep part here. So yeah, what I was saying that I wouldn't have done this alone at all. I mean, I couldn't have done it. With the guide it was alright, but never in a million years I would have done this alone. No way. I guess I would have the fear of heights on the unsecured parts immediately. Oh, this was such a nice view. We had quite a fast pace. We also did enjoy the view, so it was quite good balance. It was a good idea to start the climb quite early on. The weather was getting warmer by the minute and, you know, it helps with endurance when it's a bit cooler. I love this part. There you can see the altitude and it's quite narrow.
Yeah, the highest. Yeah.
Here you can see my gardening gloves. So I had my climbing gloves with me, but they were too big, and in climbing it's very important that you have a perfect fit gloves for the grip. Going on all fours here, yeah.
May I take a photo as well?
I think this is starting to be the end of the climb. Here I remember going on all fours quite many times. This part didn't have any secured cables or stuff like that, so I think I wouldn't have been able to do this on my own. So. Almost to the summit. Yes, and this is it. It was quite nice. I kind of thought like, is this almost over now and the rest of the journey is just going to be, you know, just walk down and that's it, but quite not so. The view was spectacular. I had a bit of a drink there and then we continued. There was also another guy there. Alright, and now to the descent. So, little did I know that this is going to be the most exhausting part. So, my legs were done. And when you go down this kind of hill, it's quite bad for your legs. So, I was quite slow. I'm not sure how well this GoPro kind of like shows it, but it was quite steep still. Every single step needs to be precise and you don't want to fall or have any accident. Here the guide said to me, just walk normally. Yeah, that may be a better strategy. I like this part. Around here I also spend a bit of time to drink and just watch the scenery. As you can see, parts of the descent was still quite steep. I thought I would take my time. There's no rush, so yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, taking it slowly.
Okay.
Here you can see the peak. So I think I was the happiest man in Slovenia when we arrived. It was such an amazing experience, but I could have done any more. I was totally done. My legs were shaking and, you know. It was such a mix of being super happy and totally exhausted.
Mä pääsin takas sieltä tonne asunnolle. Mä menin nukkuu joksikin tunniksi 2 siinä. Mut nyt taas mä otan tämmöstä vähän pikkukävelyä tässä. Mä ajattelin, että kävis tossa uimassa. Yleisesti Sloveniasta ei tää ollutkaan niin halpa maa, tämä luuli. Niin pikkasen alle Suomen hinnat. Toki ollut baarissa, nyt saattaa olla vähän halvempaa, mutta muuten niin ruuat ja asuminen ja näin, niin ei mitenkään niin hirveän niin halpa maa. Ja sitten hieno maa. Voin kyllä suositella.
Join me in the next video as well, because it's going to be quite a ride. Things didn't go as I planned, and yeah, I don't want to spoil it, but it's going to be quite interesting. Thank you for watching and see you in the next one.